John Mahama me do for dada mia Mahama dada mio
Cancel me kumio.
Mahama dimia Mahama areho to see Ghana. And I want them to know me adem bako ama ye will be a charges as said in asem o makweno. Share. It is an no Ghana for.
Yababa we do one come up.
Bono the honeymoon is over. From now no John Mahama also who say the same Ghanaians who had the effrontery to face Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, to face all the dictators, including Rawlings, we are not going to sit down and make them cheaters every day. Walai, Ghana people, make you wake up, make you fight for your right. We not go sit down, make them cheaters every day.
But
no.
Only in Tokwa bet me akoni ye ukokrumuti. Say for you my
detail. Can't say no be Tokwa. Say omo na omo buye. Omo na omo chichi etum. Iche be kasa. Na efe de intosio no first na efita. You bet tune to Sokoko action. Near Mahama said, Mahama, you came to meet 1992 constitution. Even those who did not have constitutional rule, we do not allow them. Ake jata bile jatani. Yem papa no Dubai Ekufado. They were the ones who faced Rawlings to bring constitution. They were the ones who brought the rule of law, criminal libel. Now they all buy. They could find to Yanye, Atamils and to Yanye. Who crowd first and went to Yanye. Because this time we are not going back for election. You think you can take us for granted? President Atamils, Mr. President Atamils, President John Mahama, Atamils, your predecessor. All those things, he did not do it. We are come to talk about Constitutional Review Committee. Yes, we are come to talk about all those things. I am going to say, Jimmy, because you have been given the mandate, doesn't mean you should abuse your power and the mandate. Ghana for say, at this juncture, you per se you did 2/3 majority of NDC. Now, Omunya said to me now, Omunwe at the pa. It is at to me near the mouth. Now require the bonia. Ube to me at chia to move every day. Nyanko Pomba Joseph, Wanko prison. Orie Obedi Ohini. Orie Obedi Ohini. President Kufuor Chinu to move. Rawlings time, Chinu to move. Obedi president. Kwesi Pratt. Kweku Bakon. Why the chilling to me that? It's a miracle so mako mo abanede and anything wonderful. Now media the problem they say so ma obi and Ghanaians. I don't know why you are not understanding this issue. 50 million
bail condition.
$5 million. What are we talking about? And the worst thing is that it's on the fact say they are investigating you. And they say I charge you I do a court. Court amount. Yes, the court is supposed to give the bail terms. Uchina within 48 hours. What did not court? Say, oh, charging. Then the court will decide under the circumstances, say, are we going to give him bail? I.e., are we going to remand him or we are going to give him bail? Then the court will say, as we are going to give you bail, these are the bail conditions. Not you, Yoko. Now, let's now, Uchiobia. Now, we want the bail conditions. Now, we are, Wakache say 50 million. Are you crazy? Is that how we should act in this country? And then a man will be one lawyer commentator. When you sure say, lawyer. Need this starting with A. Lawyer, Otaiba Peace FM. Pa lawyer to me can't insembia anyhow.
Ampao.
Aha. Ampao.
Lawrence Ampao.
Epidemo Kase. And yeah.
Maurice Ampao.
Yes. And then Sewoko Yoku. Next time. Ebi obi catch us for Jesus Christo bra. And in the 412. Now no No, because what is going on is nasty. And you see, it's about time Ghanaians stood up and fight for their rights. John Mahama, let me just assure you. John Mahama, I want to assure you. Me say, we not go sit down, make you cheat us every day. We are not going to accept it. And John Mahama should know that we, the children of UP, we, the children of Northern People's Party, who suffered even preventive detention, we will survive. This tribunal matter is become me. I must say that because you know that some of the regional tribunal heads, the Chief Justice, and then the President will nominate this, and the Chief Justice will nominate the two left. So I'm calling here, Tokonu Asem. Sa behavior. Yehu bibiao. But Ghanaians, I'm surprised. You know one thing that surprised me, Bonini. Now I say we may cut to up straight. I'm surprised leaders, they don't know their own people. Ghana, here, President Mahama, remember Aborigine Rights Protection Society. John Mensah Saba went to UK court to win a case against the Queen for Ghana's land. What makes you think you, son of E.A. Mahama, can come and tell us what time to sleep again in this country? Who you arrest on social media for saying what? 32 cows have been used. Now, also for now, buy ya waba bontini abeka say, sa 32 cows no oyemamu. Na yanko bise say dun kecha. What try kochi no? Mo kochi ne? What kind of behavior is this? Sanya mano, nana do cry, you can say we kuniri. And I'm what? Go away. Ebi mu say Nana Akufo-Addo should die in aeroplane crash. No cry no. Say aeroplane in Yejuma. Na okowu kra ye lusushi. Me boy.
One hunto NDC.
Obi kochi no.
Journalist back.
So President Mahama, why? You don't have tolerance. You don't have thick skin. Then stop the politics. And go and sing in Sunday school, Kumbaya, my Lord. Now to Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Now, yes, because necessary politics are. Then you should go to Sunday school and then nobody will insult you. But nobody will come and talk your matter. Now, me am a tear cry, and come to me, dimatem. Montimida. Me am my opponents.
Yeah, of course.
Me no contest and I be here to give me a time on radio. So me I don't respond. Not because me know, because me wouldn't say me near man also edi but me share many bia and was say me apply emotional intelligence,
yeah,
because of where I've gotten to. The way me Michael Kwe, I will talk and behave in 2012, not after Ghana has given me the honor to now go and serve as ambassador, to go and serve as a CEO. I can't talk the same, because Paul can our Bible say when I was a child I behaved like a child,
yeah,
and now I'm an adult I behave like an adult. It's who President Mahama, why yet from assemblyman, the only man who, why assemblyman da, why a MP, why a deputy minister, why a minister, why a vice president, what's I a president? You are one of the most, if not the most experienced politician in Ghana's history. Inti, nyemani buha. I see Baba Mando see we will say Jano, Onkasa, it doesn't affect me. I'm concentrating on my work. I'm focusing on my work. And that's another Akufo-Addo. It's the answer.
Mahama nko Sunday school.
Uncle David no attending Uncle Sunday school no now because I want to tune nyum kumbaya my lord this anya man. But politics you be more nkrofo di watem. Even though it's wrong. Nyankopon Yesu Christo. Or religion. So in one area of where unya inspire religion. Ya tun to so gunu sanwa. Ya de eche nkase shenity. Ya de spear warning. These are some of the things you go through as a top politician. But President Mahama, I always wanted to see him as a dove, because me, I'm considered as one of the doves in NPP. You understand? Yes. Now, no dove. Need to hawks no cry bibino. Now, no ka today at Tamils. Oh, I'm say me asunje hineba. That's why I was his vice. O measurement them, mempe them near man, ma onye them. Remonacha jai demazine. No, Jamama or Kane, Bonja talk. They will say, yes, someone we know. He's very emotionally matured. Into Kodina Tema no and fan because they do not know. But wait there, in his name, Oko Casa Paniachu, Oko Casa. And now, I see as I choose. Just say, there's a Sandobi near Cheno or China Baba Mando. But you know what President John Mahama should be careful of? He's rather making this evil popular. Yes. Obit is Adenta Kumina Unino. I never knew any Adenta Kumi Bia in NPP. By ne Obonidia, Obia baby say, hey, now our him. Because he has been maltreated and ill-treated by the president, the first gentleman of the land, who should have been the one to protect him. And you and I know, were we not in this country, when people like President Mills, Yakochin Crawford Simunjao. Okay, Bamiadiano.
Yes. But
Miss Andia no more yeno.
Council critics Becca say Emran ne ye Juma.
Emrabe the chair says Okochubia. I was on the Koshe Bibia. On only lawyer to me who he should tell me that law in this country. Emrabe the Tumima Acha, the right. Say Unya will case in ye. Unya substance alcohol chisha tawali. Now the alcohol now we season the cars in up to now, won't we charge you know? Up to now, won't we charge you know? Why? So why do you go and seize the cars? It's like I want to show you where power lies, kind of system. And many are brave because you see me, I'm somebody who believes in the rule of law. If you notice, my mature article in the graphic, I think about 2 months ago, I'll get the date for you. About third terms and what it has done in Africa. Third term. And Crawford, you're more 2 term here. Either some per third term, and now almost stretchy almost term, a benefit you mono. And no number 1 reason for coups in West Africa. And number 1 reason for coups in Africa. Now Ghana no, I want to say school prefect of constitution. I knew so bit say John Mahama as our constitution and they do buy. Into China, on the on can say okay, and the in fact. But when Crawford or more can say bra third term no. Those people, are they talking sense? Are they talking any sense in this country? When the constitution says you can do 2 terms. Secondly, say, third term where I can in the context of 5 years. We all know say it cannot be for Mahama. It will be for the next set of people because we agree the rules before we go for election.
Yes.
And also. Intermediate, let's move straight to the Constitutional Review Committee matters, no?
Right. Yeah, we have 5 years for MPs. 5 years for the president.
Yeah.
I bet me abua.
Oh, I know the Ebeboa because Osha, maybe I hear more time. See, I never be a devil's advocate. But Osha is why more because media Osha baby to America 4 years. So only there also mean the only difference is almost the end of November. Most years to say no, you say the November. November no it makes sense. And then I think the handing over should be maybe still the January 7th, so that we have enough time. Those are some of the things to look at. I just feel say Onipa Oman assignment. It was all the bad January. So same students, what the man is on for junior or elite. Some of them because they postpone. A Jumana was all December.
Obe
Dibro Oriano said D star.
107.3.
Obe Felix Abipana. Enti I had to say Beyonce, Cecilia Okakoye, A-level exams are 20 years. 20 years, Obe Feli 5 years no. Obe say Feli. In fact, time we go school no. Your common entrance. You're 12 years old. May come at SHS one. You decided to say class 6 for me, I'm only in class 7 for the metro. Try class 6 for the trying.
That's more class 7 for
1 year no didn't make any difference. Do you understand? Because preparation. Because Onim say time is abridged for class 6 no. Into the special classes the BBA pepe. And many of them went into places like Achimota School or in comfort says Simeon Yante, no more Jokache, all these boys. They went ahead because they prepared in advance and they joined us. You understand? Some even got higher than some of us.
But I'm not for so 4 years no ya na so. And the project be when we near to abana buy ni free
4 or 5 years. And the side dem will be 20 years. Oba na am 20 years. Say no the project will be. And I'm boy. Inside me say me start here say no I want to treat it as an academic subject. Say for 5 years in a way. But so in a way because maybe feel say time no it won't really matter. But sometimes you should change a few things. But say it is not the end of the matter. After that there must be a referendum.
Yes.
On these matters. And we must have 75%. A minimum of 40% should do the election and about 2/3 of that vote. So there are still a few hurdles to go. In 5 years, no, media ubisame on the balance of the scale. You keep it 4 years, sir.
Okay.
I also like the fact that you a cycle near America no cut together. No. A very, very good thing. Inti, sir. To say UK, in the last 10 years, when you're prime minister, therefore. So almost where, but Omoko in chain, Omoko in chain. So, where the Ghana for ya share. Now, she say, I did 4 years, okay, and now 5 years to be BB. So 5 years to answer BB there, and the Ubetuitia. So, she have 5 years also by bois. Now, why? My project there in now, and also automatically never affected Parliament because 5 years here. Now, Parliament is only 5 years. I don't know if 10 years as a parliamentarian for 2 terms, no. There I was here 10 years as president. No. I don't think so. Because 10 years as president, not just Canada Kufa Dubai and Uncle Omustilo.
Yes.
And I'm now John Mama come to what's your chain? Sena Omusun and Opebia Tiemu Okude to a black to meet him one and tini on the conina sorry. Omo candy omope. Omo carry us in I and tro. And then all around so the medieval for.
Me friend car.
They say operation release all looters. We end this media with the corner cofa. Yan for one court yet and charge you fully. Okay, so start here per se, nolly prosecute. Wow, they are convicted crano. You quite evidence. I was say you de call for appeal. No, you fan na ya share ni jao and also you become him.
Right.
Then the presidential age, very interesting one. We there somebody come on 10. You say from 40 to 35.
Yes.
Inti more 35 when you're ready. President who to be DB. President is with your tax.
And also we council 35. Nipa no or mature enough to be.
And we're debatable. We go do a we do 45 with Jimmy still. So and Obinsu we did 35 in so no very mature. So on internet. Yes, fact. So and I know the ocean balance of probability. It has to be an exceptional 35-year-old who can come in that manner. Now you be sure. Ghana for say better about man. You be but I know the age be brain no white hair no. Ebi mo ha omuda ho agimi na fair election date no so dey say maka
November
they call first week in November I mean say be 7 na na ahwe no ministers they say 60 everything because President Mahama no 60 they say nyina nim so wia ne ho so nim sa or the crofo ahye nyema bebre ase and why to say 60 ministers na wo ye wo dey 60 ase nya by force obi so dey nya 60 but yen hwe eno so yen ka wasem I don't know how it will work.
But number of ministers are not church Mumbai and I say.
And yes, I won't say Ghana no Senate system no. You have to decouple the civil servants from the politicians.
Okay.
But yeah, civil servants and Kasano. You compromise you. And you know, I had to say the political heads no, you have to be fair. Because one share you to committee obi. Why inheriting from a previous government? Because on no one on that level no. They can sabotage it. And we know all these stories. But, and also the any bad. Say 60 never copy. I copy.
Right, but ministers, no, a man for so, as you say in Kebeya, appointment of ministers, no, and you can say, if you my image with your feedback. Nipani MP, 1 year MP, celebrate which my concentrate ye, na batu on person as wojuma. Na young Quabontin, na young fam ministers in Infrabontin.
Me, Ghana ha. Yebenya Donald Trump president one day. And one is our cousin in Crawford, Abodon for Bibri, no mean minister. Now, Mutwinya will be our spokesperson for health. Or say, I don't believe in vaccination. What are you talking about? But one will say, you foresaw the president to pick from parliamentarians. Remember that these are people who have been vetted by the populace.
Okay.
The populace have already chosen them as parliamentarian. So, arguably, no, by going through that process from their party level, coming into the parliamentary level, easy to vet them, make sure say we are before the people vote for you. No, now you say president, you choose for 200 way. Once you choose ministers from them, it's a way of controlling Abodan for being added to the way to be brave. But means maybe 1 or 2 between your background and your majority, because when you say majority should be 50 plus 1, and I'm one. Which represent Kufa about 80. President John Mahama so it should be brave. I think also 80%. So and no, it's a guide and a check and balance on the president. If you know any say if you a die be ye free ho ye ho kire be kire won Ghana hakra no nya diketwa ena ye parliament in so no ye say parliamentary cap 300 members 276 elected 27 proportional representation seat.
I know breaking it down my na okay. You can
now the problem is this. The criteria is known, but the criteria for selection has not yet been done. Okay. In the first one, criteria no per omo proportion in terms of representation is low. So the first group are women.
Okay.
How to add more women to this group of 24. 2, youth. Sa exceptional 35-year-olds here. Bear 30, 35 need a training to come into such roles. It be be president. And then person with disability.
Okay.
And to say for more disability, say maybe ordinarily own to me and stand among the 276. But the initial proportional representation. How we are going to do it and choose them, and how are they going to represent and
of course.
So that is also being worked on. Then we move on to dual citizen to contest. And the end the now opening to abrabo visa na small boy be small girl be no be now and what shoe are you wearing? Do you have 3 singlet at home? O boxer shorts here. Now Brazil the 3, and then our 3, and then only 6 Brazil. Just questions be in some hunkra. Even to be beside say now when you travel will you come back? Now be show me die and team Ghana. Na London so they me tell what you. Na London I die pa. Just say asaso na obeda. Who ko slow be crash asaso. They be say will you come back? Now person me be say now you will you go back? But we dey say open. It dual citizenship there according to America, UK, Omukuta intelligence and world secrets. They allow dual citizenships to be MPs and all the rest. Ambassadors.
Never told me they bust for Mama Tiasia. Young fan say UK. What year to say we UK ni Ghana, we Ghana ni two kit and crat and be no crano as so ubetima contest.
Yes,
to me.
We are UK new. Who UK crata. Edi abontene so abrabo sebe ene wo pese wo kosra wadanfo bi ana wo family member e wo Switzerland and no say wo tam passport no ya ma 30 or say 90 days depending on what we call Canada ba eno de eye akwantuo nkrata. But we know who is Ghanaian, who is not Ghanaian. Ghanaian na wa hu na uni. And of course every rule exception into oba na 1 or 2 maybe ye vetting at the various level, party level cry vetting. So on him say minister Krasana Beba no.
Yeah, vetu, yeah.
Yeah, vetu ne hu say wo sa ni papa pe just say adwin papa bi ani utrimu a. Say na say asan. Into vetting system no, but the dual citizenship no. We ya ho ya, ebi mu ho ya deep. Na wo de kuta brocha nkrata de wo be MP behind the sign. Na we enka hu here. But I'm happy say Ghana has gotten to the point where we see say we have dual citizenship who are beneficial to Ghana. Wow, now we opinion bonini. The first one could have Germany passport. And not just want to no.
Yeah.
And I'm saying no.
Yeah.
And I'm saying UK and America. They are examples. They have a dual citizen. And me say me ko bo braka krana me ko nya me British citizen. Ebian papa ko school. And o me me di be 7 8 my back Ghana matena Ghana asa hwe me nimwe. And me kasa we mu ebroni. Benya broni baby anam kuta nkrata na mekuta na me dey akwentu kakra mo se me ndropo enya se me ye MP kra me rap parliament o se me be apply me ndropo entiene me pese me ko France ade se me ko salai sanye ma ne hu hia ehu se enya no na be ma yenya development right de bia meka ma me nka sa asem we Ghana se na ye boye ma tietie ma ene bento a ochena akekedro hwa na aye mobile phone hwa na aye drone obi anya bi obroni on ne ba kasa o cheri nyansa menye we jaisa obi ya no akoye aeroplane it is tete behavior na dual citizen there yet we pound na we okuta abroche nkrata nti wunya nipa no nkofo bu omkuta enso me Ghana for kra chen wa oti Ghana ha sebe wo de bia wa dwen kra e wa abroche no ono ti ho enso na dwen wa or experience in Ghana or history in Ghana or blood in Ghana oba ye be beti no ne ahwe na yɛhwɛ ne yɛbɛkɔ
your election of MMDCs
saa deɛ no deɛ ɛyɛ difficult one me hu so no mpɛ sɛ ɔmoyɛ no because mate biribi te sɛ yɛsɛ president bɛ nominate 5 people bi na on nominate 5 na they aka ne ato aba ɔmo so na sɛ no deɛ then there's no election ona bɛkyerɛ ne bɛ elect ama no ɔno ɔbɛ sɛ yɛ elect no ɔn apply no mmra deɛ susu no yɛbɛtɔ ama no yɛ ntoma no but sɛ wo de ba na ayɛ te sɛ election deɛ sɛ no na assembly for no yɛ no anamwa the nomination is voted for na saa election yɛ de keke o
right but ebasa mpuntunuma be koso okrom kuma num because yemfa ne say NPP aban tie akonwa so na yekoto aba ma obi na ye NDC ni as DC ana MC ya ono de obehwe ne say menhwe ma adwuma nkoso se ne be aban be gidin papa enti mebo no matoro ka enye huma sebe ye wo okrom kuma num
no it's a very difficult one because ideally no was say to me ye adwuma whether NPP NDC but ya ne enye politically matured enti na nye many people okra na obehunu say ye be ma assembly man A and a DC A 20,000 we nye ni penti no na e bi ya come na 10,000 sa ne ma ne bi wo sometimes but ye to me overcome sa pettiness na me feel say dey be boy na the people themselves should choose but one me enye bibia na me pe election no nyama ni bi wo democracy is consensus and then election and then election. But most importantly, sometimes only per crona were elected managing appointment. Because in every district, the president is responsible for their development.
Yes.
And I'm a bit torn, but I mean, the devil's advocate. Yeah, share two sides. But say, we are president. Now, you are called elected Ubifufro, somebody how do you expect the president to be accountable to you? You have to go and tell the people, say, hey, we don't need you no me dem me president but we want development in by no need you so it's a bit of a tricky one to me the ebehwe na be sa de na enhwe na enye chief justice so you say he will serve a single non-renewable 10-year term or until retirement. I think it's also not bad and also a bit way the only thing again double speak Mahama okay say Nana Akufo-Addo nominate 3 judges
yeah
former President Nana Akufo-Addo. President Mahama say a overcrowding of the Supreme Court.
Into one copy.
3 no Nana Akufo-Addo say the otie yo. So they say ye twi sign. So ni sa 3 no ye twi sign yo. President Mahama by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Also nominating more account.
So as a lawyer, I only say in your constitutional cap. Well, the number of justices
the cap can be there, but you must be reasonable. 8.3, especially for a man who has been president before and who criticized. So the Ghanaian will look at you and say, oh, take Raman, you know. Why is our baby only the Takramano Bakwa or can't for her? Not the annuation, no, I can't for her, not a shame. We're a friend of dragon behavior, dragon talk. The President Mahama or Kasata said dragon 1 minute fire 1 minute saliva. You can't do that. No, you can't do that. And I'm very pained because on one will say and one thing and can about President Mahama and he say, oh, he's such a nice man. And I'm what? President Mahama, oh no, on Pebasa. Inti, when you free President Mahama, by your conduct, you will be judged. And this has to be said on Asasipa. Asasipa, they had the entire this radio station. Say, we a radio station, we be a and Crawford canocre. Most so say, attempted from station ha. Mo canocre. Now, my chair President Mahama say, in send no kind, NCC so said, they can assemble on a par. Enumerate and this is so Osono and a candle. Osono can say what you bobo. Can bobo. Aha. Yes, because Kejetiana na bobo no kan bobo na me hu say bobo ana bobo. Mesa mi chiao. Bobo. Na ye dia share we ni asese ni a show you. Say hey, we no ba beto kelewele no. Ono ba ha no pa no. Because no pa beto dok no. Ene numere kelewele. President Mahama untumi nya woni pa wo we nim na no pa dok no nim. Enumere kelewele face. Sa de no de enya de a wo say we enti jai emfata and so. Enti no I think generally, these are some of the things. Oh, another very interesting one. Attorney General to be separated from the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
And also, it reminds me of the same case in UK. Attorney General Office, and Director of Public Prosecutions, and so on. Into that separation, and my DNA to government is kind of an OSP. Except say the OSP, age in actually kakra, and an OSP in so on. Or any near money be just say. We mean to make see so because see so no. Sadiana a call round see the friends with you. I could say round out. I say we should pre no.
Also friends see so.
But where there some at all see so. Well, Sana Minia to see sometimes or any name.
But some MPP are buying the office of the special prosecutor.
Now him say wow to me wow back at chance me by the OYM. Oh, I'm a yes. Me. One of the things I must give it to President Akufo-Addo. Sometimes, and Crawford didn't attempt any. Or you near be to say Bruni. Or say Martin Amidu, you be ye name say, or you man of justice. Or no one in Crawford cry there and you to Mika. Naye, Indian financial. Wakaweza.
Debbie.
Mahama Kweza.
Debbie.
We have to give Nana Akufo-Addo the credit. It's just a buy, if they are not say, yeah, the bar say with the Uba, be Tarzan Kakra, and one is with the 3 to 3, now jungle now, or buy the Rambo, or blasty baby, and then grenade boom, and it took a sickness, please. Young farmer must say over 2 to 2. Yeah, the Uba say you move around the whole jungle and let everybody know the rules. The jungle of corruption. But Oba no ye no do. And okay, on one resign. Okay, yadi kissing so by. Kissing so wow nim ni ye no. Honestly, or no nonsense person. Because na sata we fi lawyer power. Na ko boss ye fa namra. Ono de Nana Akufo-Addo chocho mucho. May so rest in peace. And Nana say ono on pedesa. Of a young dynamic person obe kan kre. Ebim so we are down for Oba is ano ye no.
Lawyer Kutampa.
David me check kisi jabe.
Okay.
But sometimes we are overboard. And when this from where you Kisi jabe here overboard on this side no. For example, the Kenofriata case. Won't be obi fugitive. Won't charge no convict no. You can't do that. So that's wrong. What's na oche yenya Martin Kpebu mia na kakra no. O kemu twi me say she. E fe na u kemu. Who kemu Martin Kpebu 7.3. You check the kakra bi. Who say rule of law is not working.
But we still need the office of the special prosecutor.
Oh, and America say it's equivalent to this. That's what is going to happen. The Ministry of
Justice.
Justice, yes. That's because it's going to be able to, and this is what it says: the Attorney General will no longer be a Minister of State or Cabinet Minister. A separate Minister for Justice will oversee the sector, and then the Attorney General will also. So we will say prosecution in Yama and yet President Chucho Muchu. It will be separate.
But still, now president to be in control.
Debbie, say, well, and I make I say, appointed judge. Judge, what appointed we are. So, person is straight out, wow, or call it straight for pepe. And so, judges say, so, what appointed in Tino, or see, I owe you a favor. No more, yen near my head, time. It is not befitting of a judge. But as for Attorney General, you can actually sack them at will, which you can't do for example, Director of Public Prosecution and all of that. You know, we'll look at how it will be drawn,
okay,
and as to separate the two, and also there. I think with Constitutional Review Committee there, can't and kakra.
Quickly, yamra chama wun to me, ye camera media, yamfemra kakra. 20 years as a lawyer. Sentence in it will say.
Oh, so yeah, it's a political prisoner affair. Simple. 7.3. Now open me no bonkomo. Now wo assassin ya dia legal. But you say some area be a forest yanko mining ho. And I'm say mining be akoso ho nti wunim. Kona kodua coconut. Court to call coconut no 300 acres. And I call in a chi who produce a Patrol police are
Akokraba.
Ye chi akraba no. and they say akokraba wo kasa no ye pe bono hini into wetu aka no kra ne say eye bono hini na say koye galamsey na wo de ebeja o
aye ka hye na no
say obi an ka hye na no ye ka kire say if you testify against bono hini, right, you will go home free. What is the testimony? Because ko ka say eye coconut a won ko fie aramewa and na wo buy na we say one can't change. I'm so say waka. Counsel me now say waka. Now on no oya galamsey now no ne workers wo ho. Ne fidie wo ho. None of them is registered under Akunta mining. Ono no ya chinatum. Not for doing galamsey o. Because he cannot do galamsey. For facilitating. Now me say law crime, murder and attempted murder no, it's not the same category. Until you can't use, say, all your illegal mining sentence to go and even sentence somebody who is supposed to have been negligent. Or you can say, oh no, other than one shed your oil. Now, oh no, not all your galamsey, the actual criminal has been set free. No, we mean TV that. Me murder krano se ukona koku obi na oni obi na na wo ka hye na no so no so ye bia me ni say bia death penalty e ma wa e bia na ma o life in prison ana say e be ma 50 years ni ate so about 30 years me ni say tu ja o ma ko fie o say wo de boni na wa ye no wo be ko fie ye reduce sentence wo be ko fie free me de me ka pa o wo de onim obi meche me galamsey ocha me de wuntumi me cassette wuntumi kra ba ho wuntumi kra no aso o de bako ba ye nra obe me kan yina se me kofie me ho son ba ko num ti
obi a be kan
makoji me boba ti bi na me ti fie me nim say ade ya che me ye ka chere say we wuntumi ndi adanse against him dia ene obedem 20 years buno ina ka be me say Sanya man wa wo yiri oba ko ka say oni muhwe wona o kan sa so chema want to be case when you look at it at any level but you see what is the history between Chema Wuntumi and Mahama or Mahama family
and omo bibia na
are you aware say Chema Wuntumi no ansa ne ba pa 2016 now our court with Ibrahim Mahama, the same period of NDC, ono na kan me de minim, ono boa me so me boa, or say President Mahama a friend about the office, so person joining NDC. Okay, is that story no? Ghanaians have forgotten. And I say Odru Mahama enim no, na Mahama kuta the mining papers, Hansel mining. In a good name say he was shocked that President Mahama knew so much about him. And President Mahama catch say, or a young entrepreneur guy, number joining NDC. And also, ono the ordinary one share NPP no do into to me call. And also fine. And Chebiana, Hansel mining, another matter. You call shiny excavators.
Yes.
You know, and so could Ibrahim Mahama tema no can't bibi. And Ibrahim so the most ordinary court. Me, I remember this call because I don't want to mention the lawyers' names. My friend Wuntumi lawyer at the time. My friend Ibrahim Mahama lawyer at the time. We met in the office. We sat down. I told them, says, I same way, and ya sema, and what say this say it. Because me, Ibrahim, I'm a classmate. We need the same year group, 89 year group, in from the age of 12.
Ibrahim Mahama.
Yes. Chema Wuntumi, so no, my best friend, I was London, I down for no year together. So I also know him very well. Lawyers ni me and so no, back we am senior 1 year, back we am a classmate.
Okay.
Yeah, you want down Kromao. Now me sure mo tena say sansem we mu twem ehia ya kana but intiasie bi amma at the last end because of a monetary compensation after accepting responsibility which makes you culpable. Inti no amma no e je musa na ekoye ye wini power na asem mu inti asem we start yo inti no ebi mo ha Chema Wuntumi de okeka ye later ne bi no enye we dey wini amaka che no then so you should ask the pain and the emotion with which some people behave in a certain way. Nyema no mo dia ye ne da. send na ono so the buafu that same family no and okọ kan ye me bi so eno so enye into one president Mahama there you know the history
and anya we kra some of
we dey ending me kwa muntumi ni da no a won so opesa de meko no bi so ye weni bo no so kofa akekeduro no so di ye weni bo no owie no e no sande meko no ka ho to kasa try so you know the history e tell you how bono hene muntumi nka Mahama sensa but ono muntumi there every Ghanaian should know say oyawa the Mahamas have taken him through before burning his excavators his livelihood making him feel torture pain real pain going through him. So he overspoke. Yes, that's wrong. So you can take him to court for that. After all, you see, Chromo, because right? You take him for slander, libel, whatever, defamation.
Yeah.
Then you go and do what you have to do. But it is not a police case. And President Mahama has all the resources in the world to tell him to me, say the things you said about me and my wife and my daughter. I'm taking you to court. He will win his case if he has a case. But Ghanaians should not justify it to say, Nyawun to me can't, you know, I was so called prison for Galamsey thing that he didn't do for 20 years. You are being stupid. You have no sense. Because if you have sense, you will not connect what somebody said to the fact that his liberty should be curtailed for something which there is no evidence. Circumstantial evidence. He did not do. Or say me nyeye. Then, where is your proof? But you cannot say that from the deduction of the case and the way it in. Oh yeah. No. Especially when the other person. This is the case for whom to me. Let us stick to the case. Don't go and bring the facts say Odi Mahama tem. Oh yeah, Odi Mahama tem. Oh, Mahama I should excavator 50 da. I should 50 da. Anybody who can come and tell whom to me that what he did was wrong, which I'm also telling him, and therefore he should be jailed. You know. Then somebody can not tell me excavator yashi. So they won't mean and yet 2 wrongs don't make a right. But that is not the equivalent. You cannot personalize his behavior to achieve a matter of punishment.
And today what them no illegal mining.
Illegal mining was let me tell the history. The history is there. So some people, in some cases, some people when they want to please, and when they have certain briefs which can be in the darkness of the shadows of this country, and they need to be now you hear commentators now or no the Mahama tem and even some MPP for Krakebi. You are being childish. That is not the issue. 20 years when you didn't do the Galamsey. The law is for people who are doing Galamsey, not people whose land has been used for Galamsey. Yes, maybe you should have known or ought to have known. I know you're different. But I want to be jailing him for 20 years. So you have to use a different law to punish him. Give him some fine. Give him some term of imprisonment for 6 months as a deterrent. And no crampo baby moi. But you can't give him 20 years. And the other man is free. I know the minia. And now President Mahama.
But appeal lawyer ni. Men pesi ebe tumri ka court na nim. Appeal be kwa kwesi baby.
Appeal depends on the appeal judges. You see, the appeal judges, no, they must also come to a certain conclusion. Do we want to speak the truth or do you want to please? If they want to speak the truth, they know, say, this issue, no, one to me can appeal it whilst he's out of jail. They know that. They know. Even though I don't want to use a certain example, no, because as for that one, it was what we call a botched job by the Attorney General. And we a different issue. But for me, who to me is a Ghanaian first of all. Who to me is a son of our constitution. Who to me must not be imprisoned unfairly. Unless it's a dictatorship. So if they want a dictatorship to operate under the guise of rule of law, say 4 legs good, 4 legs no good. NDC 4 there. Ye the omoko say omaye A B C D. Omo de enka. Collins Dada ye we are court no case no ye aton chen.
Opuni.
Ato forcing. Will you have liked what happened to me to happen to him? He went through the rule of law. The law, the wheels of the law grind slowly. Entina Opuni, it will call 7 years. and so on and so forth. Untumi do nipa. Ghanaians. Untumi onye nipa. Was hard day we a your fair untumi kebi. We NPP new, we NDC new, so we nipa. Untumi unya abelde. And so because of politics, now be Minyanubi, Eduji, say, no more bijina, no more justify. Who muja? Who atinka? Who abadaye? Who yes animea? A chese, who knew beer? Who sunyami? Because who sunyami, you see, say you want justice to work. Because Boni in Ochina, Ibitiayo.
Yeah.
Ochina, 20 years, what Boni, then we default in poor. You 60 retirement. We should not use politics to do evil because we are bad. It's evil. And we should let the rule of law work. If we want to stop Ghana, say this one, we stop it. Because we can't use scapegoat. We can't use Chemaun to his freedom to punish him because Chemaun to you so you'll be a boisterous. Now, son, and your fire, and your deal now, the Makoto. Sasa ye name it with the same last and your will be safe. Asa winty, and I'll be jailing. So I want to be being a no man can say, when I Mahama, you are nobody or whatever. You're teaching you. You can't do that. Intermediate may can say, no way, no dear, to save face, even though this should not have happened. The Court of Appeal should show us that the rule of law works in Ghana. That's all we tell them.
Right.
The rest is up to them. But their conscience will follow them for the rest of their life, where a man's liberty was curtailed because of what happened prior. Circumstantial evidence are yet clear. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt. And in this case, no, it's not a matter of a balance of probability. Balance of probability, say, in TAB, I can say kakra, and I can say beyond reasonable doubt, they are 90-something%.
Or because the lawyer now battle the case here, when any part of your dream.
Okay. So is a bit sensitive. You always be a lawyer, I mean to mean can or be case. But okay, with the end of Consacra. We didn't know one here, boy, will be a can't be Obi on Sinaso. Bonini. Oh, client, this is a chairman to me. Now, something in or can I say, man, now watch your Yoshua, you wish now Casacasa baby wouldn't better stand. Wouldn't better stand. Obey. Because
you can't sort the better stand.
Yes, will you take him on the stand to answer?
Okay.
Because you can defend him without him having to go on the stand.
Okay. But who Jan or Becca Bibia?
Yes! Oh, they don't to stand so maybe all the background of starting Jewish in Pagwabum, AB and Nani Paquins were Arab. Okobo Jewish in Pagwa, the boof. Just Obekanya maybe a same cry of Fauno. Obema Uboof. You understand what I'm saying?
Lock it.
Yes! Because if you are judging crown on Pesa Casano. Obeka no, but why? Who can tell me what to do? Sir, Casabino, AB and not judging boof. So you have to keep him off the stand.
No lawyer, no why you're joining.
No, other witnesses, no ma. Oh, no, channel. But no, I'm saying no consigned with the no phantom chain. Be me to inch lawyer behind the Juma also here. But Usha, most of the time we committing murder be an bibia. Not that if I crown in you, but a be an ipacron because of the temperament, the emotional way, a be an ipacron. The buffon them into what no constant so. Lawyer no one day, the buffo say, one the car. And I'm also the bonus. Meanwhile, sir. Did you understand?
Remember, oh, dear, fetch me cancel.
Yes.
You know, Honorable Michael K. Jr. anything come and there were cast and more. You didn't go Jina da Camua, son of a Betias and Uncle, you know, meet you.
And you know, I know they are concerned by the way, but they are candidate. Court of Appeal on 1 year at the Sefata.
Okay.
Chairman to your refugee. Oh, are you? Don't say Chairman to your diabetes.
Diabetic.
Yes. Annie. And a president of Mama, Sunday, one can say, be also Tiasio. Sunday, yeah, what? Ah, you're Nick Roma.
But it seems that no one in your
Nick Roma now. Yes, you know, I could check. They 15 or 20 or BB. I checked in about it. And when a police case, over the local police station. Over the local police station. Ask him. Oh, near money. I was saying to me, any who say way politics, but also humanitarian grounds.
But MPP too lenient,
well, it's not about lenient to share. And I can't say in every party they have doves and they have hawks. If we allow the hawks in NPP to take over, the country will become ungovernable. It made me say, as I say, I'm a dove. It will be Basana, me say, oh, yan sha sevenka. My fa niema hunubi tarehun. Because one share out taria, to why we are crying why. It's not problem about. But the penny say, yan share issue
na bano.
Now yen deal with the issue.
And yan matabata
when I made two President Mahama fool, say, oh no, he was seen as a dove. He was seen as a nice man. Say no, you're nicer. Say, Chairman to me. BBC, we all know how the system works. Inti yes, Reno. Sa Niamana Ekos from Munyai. Then they are coaching Niamani bill. On friend in Crawford, no country said, not in my name. Just that. President Mahama, call all those who are arresting people, making talk, police case in this country, that not in my name. Not in my name. Ya chiobia, ya hunu say, wako yesika. Fili gadochi. Ya deno koye, eko court. Whilst the person was in the court, no, ni prakonu jane eko abrochi. Osi okakoye medical. Ujane wa mabak.
Yanko said na Christine.
Yes.
Okay.
Okoye wa mabak. Ewo mwana Attorney General applies a extraditing emra. And yes, okay, extraditing number because of Abuchio. 2026 February, yeah, appeal from the lawyer. Say, or say, or appeal the sentence, it's okay. Fabre, the number extradition. Can you believe, my brother? Can you believe this thing? Say, you see, appeal normally to 2024 during Godfrey Dami time. Into a NPP and a man ye and ye NDC. 2024 now, so-called appeal. Media that thing is debatable, but the young man the benefit of the doubt. Appeal no honor. Nipa Krono was facing extradition. So that thing was not moved. So if it was not moved, how can the Attorney General then defend it and maybe ask for all the other evidence, exhibits they are missing in this document? So to say that no, I think some person in Kuala Nekasa. Because until the person is extradited, you to me call appeal case who was the one who responded to the appeal? It's not which era the appeal was put in. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yes, it will be about Besano. I said Oseeeeeey in Kuala. Yes, I know. There, yes, I joke. And say, oh, they already see a lot of phone Kuala. There, joke to say, oh, a lot of phone Kuala no moon maybe. And that would me because Omuni be a cratching. I said to Tofiwa, what is this? Now we'll try and throw. Now catch and say, oh, the appeal came in 2024, but I am the one who responded to it in 2026. Because you were in power in 2024, no, who now my age? This one is a joke. And yes, sir, 107.3 will be free. Your name say, why yet? The China and yeah, no one said me to the kind. Ejano's Uncle Fee. Inti Uncle Fee. But
Attorney General say Obeko Supreme Court Ako.
Now say Supreme Court no kono. One fa evidence in the charging Mammy and Supreme Court. Supreme Court, what would they rely on? What would they rely on to uphold the case? Into Uncle in the Jumaye. Uncle in the Jumaye, no be who say, we, settings we. Ghanaians are already open. Yeah, you know, you send a releasing for lolly prosecute. And you it is said in our case in there. Thank God, both said that you're convicted before. And can continue case. Also, lolly prosecute. Number 8. Lolly prosecute. You see, time no, when the court releases somebody, NDC for said, and I could find a clear agent.
Yes.
So, no, time you say, Nipa 3 are clear. What the 8 now we are super clearing agent. 107.3. Yes. Me see a dimbia on the free yes that time. Yes, you remember must reference clearing agent. say Nana Akufo-Addo a clearing agent. Into Musumu a super clearing agent. But what to me, my embe country say you come to reset. I the air cost no enye when I walk on enye but me dem ba man west. The air cost no Supreme Court judges 3 enye but me dem ba man 8. Media the air cost MP NDC for the be a chi omo na enye no I nipa 4 or 5 no me dem ba man 10. Me wien so me mamu bail. Me mamu bail conditions so enye and now me ma against the constitutional. Say your family or your lawyer doesn't know where you are. So, Oshesa said in answer me, very, very sad. Now, you know, you know, you know, but you many be why bar and yet. Inti, I was say, I can't say, now say, yes, I know. 777, open say, oh, you know, said in an answer, crowd, ashes on at the court of appeal. You can decide, say, but go into the case. And let her also go through the motions because nipa chrono ojane bail and no punishment in count. And now when you have scorned from bail, there's no punishment for that. And no crown boy a matter. In fact, and no crown boy a reason court no person uncle jaw now kosie whilst your appeal is pending. Omeka said because of your what flight risk. Yankipu. Because who was our tendency to abscond? Why be that?
To be
now I be done so there you didn't say we just never sign the same thing. And no cry and shame now. And no Ghana for come and when you're personal. Because me about personal can be said in a mean body. Because me there me or to say me big sister. Me couldn't madam.
I wonder what personal relationship.
Yeah, me name no. Me name the family. Next sister Kitwa free moved by may God soul rest in peace. So I'm a classmate. I know them very well. Me name Nikuni madam. And well, the Americans say, President Obama, we all know each other in this Ghana here. President Obama, we all know everybody in this Ghana. I don't want out there, you can't do tea. And that's him. And that's him.
Mama, you're doing it.
You can't kill us. You can't kill us. Rollins was able to kill my father. You can't kill me. You can't kill me. What is it? Let's do something. Still, there's that cordial relation. They share it with our NPP, they are not doing well. Sir, NDC too, they will talk. They are point. Oh no, this one is not right. Now you're now. What a day. Where you jail people for things they've not done, and then you do the same release under that same regime for people who are being charged even for bigger and higher money. Now, sir, opening Collins Dowda, Casey, is it no more than 55 million or so they're talking about 50 million bill? Now,
but critics back as a separation of powers. Executive and Juma. So why do you blame?
In their time, did they not blame the judiciary that they were working for Nana Akufo-Addo?
Okay.
And they blamed Nana Akufo-Addo as a clearing agent. And we're also telling you that your Attorney General, from what he did with the Sedina case, is not satisfactory and it's not good. Anybody catch on? The catcher also says, good to me, the case no circumstantial. The cause no and yet Chief Justice want to be in country and fine, but we're waiting advice. Chief Justice, what is that? What's going on? Please, let's look at this well. It can bring problems in the country because it will bring problems. So I want to me the same way. No, we are not going to let it go. In our counter demonstration by now, yes, I said in a case of demonstration by President Obama, we are going to make sure that you are held accountable for things that happen in your time, especially things that you blame others for. Say no to the kind of to say fraud. No, we don't see any engineering problem. And so that's to say engineering problem. You be kayo. It's a President Mahama, man can't indiscipline there. Kona koye jumano engineering problem now kan na wunim no kona koye yenye nkwala yenye totofiwa wona be ka kire say vulture ono insuo to ose ono no insuo no jaya obesi dan insuo no jaya on si dan ne da na wo de wonye vulture nti wonye bi wo kan ye 2015 ene ye 2026 wasa aka oboa we will see whether you are a vulture or not. We are going to check President Mahama whether he's a vulture
but do you see him as a vulture?
No, how can I see him as a vulture? I'm seeing according to his words of reference to a vulture. Say the vulture behavior. That's why I won't call him a vulture. But I'll say that vulture behavior of
What's
your friend say?
Kokosechi.
Kokosechi. Kokosechi. Subaino. Subaino na meka.
Okay.
Inti President Mahama no ni subaino Kokosechi subaino. Onyai. Because want to me can't say insuo na tono. Now, what about now Wellington boot? Insuo no jaya may say 2015. We are now the catcher and say a engineering problem. Inti Nana Akufo-Addo the President Bonnie on yes say he should check it now. The Oba. This is what you are going to do. Sir Garrett no obey say the waste and sanitation ministry ube for and the local government. We are obey ABCD. Now why the removal of the sanitation and water ministry. We are now on ABCD now. Yeah, Miss Abba Kokosechi behavior and the baby saw into Ghana for 2028. Mokotoaba Kokosechi abanso na mokotono mokokromoti nso ye Kokosechi kokromoti because mo hwese sa bota suban e wo ho de a enya mokoto abani ntia no because Dr. Baumia de onye sa Kokosechi behavior no ono oyobi a wo hwe ne suban a Dr. Baumia is a very calm person. In fact, I'm surprised that media program mo friend asundwe especially after the years election no yen mu bi no Saturday and boy and results in you.
Early acceptance, no.
But the man explained to us that the peace was more important than the politics.
But I'm also say Koso party in Kakra.
And American. This is why
because Dominic Obinyakra no munyan kan wi.
And American. So at that point, I looked at him as a man who has the Solomon wisdom. Instead of the baby to be divided, he just said, "Give the baby to the other woman so the baby will live." The man wanted Ghana to live, even at the expense of him giving away the baby to the other woman. Now, to me, my Kokwejun, I mean, because we will say, Nyamisro, Aubrasie, Obia, Oye, a man of peace, Asum Jehini, to the extent of his own presidency. The man realized we don't want confusion. We don't want people to be killed. But we come here, Nyamani be wa yenjaya. Anka yesi wo ye ni ba ye ni ati sei yesu ya ka sisa krofabo efutuo ba omiamu nyina ke na yesu ye tie na yesu ye ka chen krofo ajubreo ebu mu fu so many ati chen bi but you see every day for thief man one day for owner. Now media NDC ma ka kire mo say sa nyum na omo to no Ghana people make you wake up, make you fight for your rights. We no go sit down, make them cheat us every day. So you cheat us today, but not every day.
You go cheat us.
Every day you go cheat us.
Right. Mamimra, you have governance. But quickly, my reintroduction of tribunals. Oh yeah, maybe I try me defend kangaroo court. Ebe boy, and who won for so at this time?
Na kangaroo court. No dear, tribunal. Me the anti-amendment tribunal and say, me feel say, one, a idea the outside influence can become too much. And Ghanaians, just ask yourself this simple question: do you want to go and sit before a judge, chosen depending on the level, by the president or the chief justice, and then two more other random citizens? Sit law for krana ya chomomra mugu court no krano near from unanimous FC and amewa me anyam na mkasa di no NDC for ne kan na ife de makofa unanimous people mo ye samasa abegu it unanimous no be kan ansa na wa hyasem no kra
that means to ase a ye benya fiefo mienu abeka
yes eno na me ka say NDC for mamo why in a hurry for tribunal she so who say cases so do so India omo shift court, morning court, afternoon court, morning judge, afternoon judge, morning lawyer, afternoon lawyer, because the cases they are running. You can't come and tell me say because you want the thing to be quick, no, and it will dilute its way. How will you dilute courts now? Yeah, baby, yeah, person verifiable the veracity of the court, no. We say the normal Ghanaians better not so now. No, it's not a magistrate court. So what are we talking about? So, and you know, me, I just think say we have to rethink it. Ma enye binumu say we are in power now, so we want tribunal. No, because that same tribunal can be used against you tomorrow. And because me, I'm an NPP dove, I don't look at bad things which are being used against me. I don't look forward to using it against you. But you imagine the next Yoko boss from NPP.
One person who been Yoko boss NPP.
Abronya. Now imagine say ya Abronya Yoko boss. Now the mudena family, now Abronya Yoko boss. Now wo Remoacha. What is a Remoacha? No sympathy pa. Sani dynamics ko bubu here or trade fair this and maybe who catch us. Oh, it was not nice. It was not good. Sorry. Enya dia baby. Yes, when I make cano want to make us a no. And I make a bit more before be show or yaw be. But you don't come and do the same thing to Magdan. Because you see, if you do the same thing, two wrong don't make a right. Into what 7 year debut. And I can't want to say what he did was wrong. But then I explained it into one or yaw there show muno. Our day bano. Whatever else I me. MYA. 107.3. I don't look forward to using loopholes of tribunal. Tribunal, no, no. Yeah, can't self scientific. Bia nyanko ponsi. Or my inquiry nya idea ni answer ni bibia na say. If you think that tribunals, we all know the history of tribunals. Are we not aware? Said DF Annan, the first recommendation by he said we should scrap the tribunals. I've forgotten who was the person in charge of that committee. Charlie Obin Fair na Omonfa committee. The committee report. You understand? This country was not built just yesterday. And now President Rawlings say, on china. And so they had to put it there to satisfy him because at that time, half a loaf is better than none. So, yenina obie bunini eguso. And a yejato. In fact, what rather the Constitutional Review Committee should be focusing on is to scrap it. Because now, President Rawlings will Yamin fan the crack and see. Now, where we free, you know? Now, who mom who could pay jaba? Now, where you su? Now, abuse. Now, who's in count? There's no two Drobonia.
Ebika
ono enti edroboni na mufu se mo tunti a mo de mo power anti no entache mo no NDC advise yourselves enu bi na ale se be fiako kan no enu bi na Haruna Idris wo do hwe omumu bi they have vision, they have foresight, they can see say
ebi betumi ato
omo because this area confirm me my kokwe ko any Yoko boss na MPP for so mo mpini say ko me Yoko boss. Because only say me call
on pay you.
They say hey now they all call the law this and the law into move Abronya mra. It will say election for Abronya be winning Yoko boss hands down. Now on also no qualified though.
Now unya Yoko boss ankape.
Oh they be maybe you want to for no person here need to be Sa Bugano need to be more. Ain't you know you be beautiful. Now, we want the opportunity to serve the people of Dominica.
Right. So, can say describe judicial system now. Say now, describe judicial system under John Dramani Mahama.
Because I'm a lawyer. But the judicial system, if you are John Mahama, our president, first gentleman of the land, and you have certain problems with the judiciary, you don't come and one compound it or to do worse. Because first of all, that removal of the Chief Justice and some problems won't be real. And we know where it went through was not the best. The worst part is a mokayo. And sana mo buy mo ye. It's Ghana for Omakato many back and of the back on show. That's the first problem. Secondly, why have you increased the Supreme Court judges by so much? Because unfortunately for Omono, all the tapes are there. A few moments later, and then the campaign. A few moments later, And Nana Ado, the president should not bring any more judges to dilute the quarter. Yes, okay. It will I say Shemima. And I'm orange juice I will dilute to Shemima. You see, I would your own pet Shemima. My friend, so crank can we nom no sa. And I see you. Would you buy no Shemima ma triple. Ensure I would you good orange juice, won't taste orange juice to crave you. Because 3 to 8 there, more so about now triple. Into Ghana for also show. And one thing about Ghanaians, I'm surprised that the NDC have forgotten. They will punish you. President Obama, NDC, they will punish you. They will punish you. Ghana for who near Koso. Omo who say Atu ayesi or for so no. Me ye na me kan yo. Bono ni ye ha na education minister Haruna Idrisu e kan ye to Bernard Avle say ono krapo no per 30 to 50,000 teachers and so budget ba anyama 7,000 per. Na chese Atu is not forcing.
Sikanko
ye wa e na to forcing kan say kokofo ye be mo musika say e ba ye omo say we di intro inti bi mu say atro forcing obi ani di on the man is here o inti mu say by the time at 2028 be do no obi say atro is not forcing obi say atro forcing in a nickname no mutizi o me me tin America say the ati e di an dey from
right
because of what suban any maybe away it's not just about the judiciary. We show the whole governance system now. Are there any nice scam? Are there any nice settings? Mobile Muslim Baby resetting.
But some macroeconomic indicators will be a show green. Policy rate above form. CD I appreciate it. Inflation I drop it down. Anti debut naka.
And prices are going. Price are going. And electricity and now 2024. Ya to akati you. Dollar no more can. When was the last time we used dollar?
Medicine in the third.
Yeah, me. I don't know about you. Akukraba. Now say what dollar no be bottom this year. City. Now city electricity no. Electricity. And I'm crying for you see electricity ekiki empa. Electricity. I nim ne bo in 2024. Water and so to say. Water. Yan share school fees and I won't share school fees.
Me try pa.
Hey, international local in akosro. The same pay because yen two obia pay mu. Omo ya two omo pay mu you say 15% this percent no. Nyama na akosro more than that. So we look at that too. That look at only government workers. Most private places no want to pay no sir. Na de me ya e wo mu kra me nsuno ni na kra into me petrol.
Any design you know.
Eniwo. Omo can say enye Russia Ukraine war. Are you aware that Russia, I think they are the third or fourth largest oil producer in the world? Almost say and found petrol prices no it drew $120 a barrel and found Nana Kufa the Udini. Into who and then President Mahama 78 Abu Nana Kufa the Dianas where deni. We Udini. That of bisa question one answer. Oh, kasa too much say in a retro. Let chicho come. Then almost say we are going to remove 2 cities from this. Now government, yeah. But you know you are not supposed to be intervening in that. You know. And you know that Akufo-Addo could not intervene because the MPA prices are set by a certain formula. I was a cost through and I was a cost form. You can only take out some of the tax component to make it less, but you can't take it out completely because we bear with this kind
automatic adjustment.
Yes, and some sorry, I'm kind of open. And then diesel. It's been your John Jinapo. Wajira, John Jinapo, Monchushano, Monchushano, Namonia interview. Now, Mumisa said, John, how's it going? No, I don't say the petrol, how's it going? Electricity, Ekikimi, and Usaba. Now, another one crammed the emissary. in all of this, the kind of say, into NDC government, or more, a Greek minister, sir, picture and marine feeder. Only deputy finance minister, Oseeeeeey, and a deputy finance minister could be in a brofoka. We're giving them 81 million, or kind of Greek minister, and say, to so be a tumpaya bonitrim. Opinion, you say, just a shock. My face can be a man. It's a Greek, a baffle. We also know the kind of monies that more NDC you are not paying to the various ministries at the moment. We also know what you are doing after IMF call you. But when you say this here, Busi Omakoji, 1 billion. 1 billion, Sisia.
1 billion?
Yes, 1 billion. Measure exact amount, whether it's dollars or cedis. 1 billion. Oh, Makoji, at the moment. It will be such a question. Maybe some say, now more buy it. Sanko kitten in your men, on Becky Kayan, Sena and no engagement. A cook kitten, meaning I would answer me with your boy. When was the last time I would say, baby papa about a cook kitten? A cook kitten, patrol the work at me. Say, when was the last time you had anything positive on that particular matter?
But now, good policy and initiative for agribusiness.
In what sense? In what sense? Say, Oako Chichin Kokonaba na Enkofakori. Any good government way. Now maybe you say, yeah, agricultural policy, yeah, the comma, NDC food soldiers. Maybe for some Ghana Poultry Association. Now, I'm from one. Now, I'm catch you say, depending on the size of your way, be my percentage way. Now, I'm going to NDC food soldiers. What can I say? I'm going to be a go on kitchen. I'm going to say, I'm going to near my way. 1, you have a man. 2, you have a man who okay. 3, you have a man with Diani. I want to go on my NDC food soldiers. I'm going to find Kuku Bonanka. I'm going to feed Nanka. It's not a shock. Ono akasa wa woni fufu akukọ no so tuntum kosia na akukọ na be bebre na o start wi enti NDC food soldiers so o start wi akukọ ya che o almost 1 year ni to ma wi asa enyam na mkan yo Ghanaians, this is a very serious matter. The Agric minister akasa the catch say akukọ no de ma NDC food soldiers no NDC food soldiers na come di omo ncho o mari ebi mu yes o mu nyina o dem say 100% true. Ebi musu de mo wia mo wi dompe no kra ka ho nti akokọ no hu ne hwe kra na ebi kra be ka ho sika na make no na make about dollars. Government has borrowed $1 billion in 9 weeks. It is kana o pesa o kana Ghana cedis
na watching kunu ntem
Ghanaians 100 billion cedis. IMF ekoyao. And also idea I bet you boss. So we'll come to that. So media me nyama ni bi ho a
then the paper band be decide say on spending.
Say my example. Wo bono yini. You try car every month $10,000. Wo expenses here, school fees, rent, car hire, maybe auto car na try every month. Mortgage then whatever. Into the be 10 and anyama be 10 into no we use can be a car you can say 2,000 but you tell us 10,000 cedis now what na so sika also spend it on car on spend it sika also the man back could did on
rent
untia say at least back now was some mom we duane a obedi nkosia 3 and 4 and mom nkosia half na we keep his kana say ubo sika be bring account.
Yes.
But sika no so dey hollow because that will be tia responsibilities in our sika na sa. And be na NDC 40 a fake and hollow government. Enti no mo year settings. Enti inflation ni mo kuta no. Omo ko spend this sia pe hwiro. Enti dey fake.
Enti books mu dey enye kama but bottom no any abonti na ho.
Now they won't hear some way. Yes, say you tia contractors. Meboa. enti contractors no eba ministry obebisa sika no and I'm say yetua and I'm say wahi yentua e woni de honorable atofo se mukan
Dabi
munko accountant general na sika no won kan say no na sika wo accountant general ho de say wa ban ho untua contractors no but because we use sika no settings from finance ministry to accountant general book munti no musi metua contractors and still contractors no munyi sika. So what kind of sizes? And you know they are not never hollow and fake government be. So these are some of the things Ghana for no make say na abai you see dollar no mra form na ye ho ton but say dollar ba form na ye ho tree and dia and you dey for so dey.
Right.